Yo, what up? And welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It's Wednesday, the 7th of August, 2013. I got an article in front of me from WND.com under the column Diversion. If you want to go look at this article for yourself, it's under Diversions on WND.com. You can see the columns on the top. If you need help, I'll show you. Right there, Diversions. This bar right here. WND.com. So, this article is called That Whale Fossil is How Old? Claim about latest discovery called Bad Science. And so I have this article in front of me here. And now that I look at it, it looks decently long, but I'll read it. When scientists at a Maryland museum announced the discovery of the fossil of a whale skull on the banks of the Potomac River in Virginia, they calculated the age to be approximately 15 million years old. Sorry, I can't read that without laughing. The age, according to a Washington Post report Monday, was determined by the geologic formation in which it was found, the Calvert Formation. Scientists call this the relative method of dating, which assumes the fossils in a particular sedimentary layer are within the same geological epoch. All you know about all you can tell about a fossil's age, you can't tell anything about the fossil and its age. All you know is that it's a creature and it died. That's all you can tell. If you have somebody telling you that you can discern how old a fossil is from like whatever the geologic column, or if they try to use circular reasoning, saying that you can see, use it the other way around, like where the fossil is at in. It's just, to me, it's so stupid that I can't even make sense of it, even saying it in my own head. The whole evolution theory is a religion where you have to put your faith in an unobservable circumstance. Like, oh, millions of years. No, were you there? Can you observe that? No, you can't. It's the magic word that they say to get you to believe in what they're trying to tell you. Millions and millions of years. Woohoo! You're under my spell. But how do scientists know the age of the formation? Most believe various methods of radiometric dating based on the rate of nuclear decay or radioactive elements provide a reliable estimate. Georgia Purdom, however, a researcher with Ken Ham's Answer in Genesis, who earned a PhD in molecular genetics from Ohio State University, contends research by creation scientists have shown that the decay rate is variable, making radiometric dating an unreliable method. Duh! Carbon dating, are you kidding me, man? I mean, it's really like, it makes you want to shake your head, like, that people actually believe this stuff. All radiometric dating methods are based on unverifiable assumptions about the past, said Purdom, whose scientific research focuses on the roles of natural selection and mutation in microbial populations. If you haven't seen Evolution versus God, it's absolutely amazing. It's amazing that Ray Comfort even lets us stream it for free on YouTube. You need to go watch that. Go and listen to the smartest scholars that believe in this evolution and see what their argument is. You're stupid. I'm smart. I have no argument. It's so religious in rhetoric. It's so stupid that like I said, I don't even make sense when I try to even. I can't, seriously, my mind goes, I think I lose brain cells when I try to make sense of the things that they try to teach. It's blind faith to believe in evolution. You cannot observe the theories that evolution claims. Not all skeptics of Darwinian theory agree on the age of the Earth, however, and some don't make it a point of emphasis. The most important question for those interested in origins is not how old this fossil is, but it's whether the complexity of whales points to design or chance, said late Casey Luskin of the Seattle-based Discovery Institute, the organization known for its promotion of the theory of intelligent design. Luskin is the research coordinator for the Institute's Center for Science and Culture, which in its description of intelligent design says certain features of the universe and of living things are best explained by an intelligent cause, not in an undirected processes such as natural selection. You know why people will believe in evolution? Because they're too weak-minded to know the real truth. They want to be willingly ignorant to the fact that God he exists, he's omnipotent and omniscient, meaning all-present and all-knowing, and that you don't want people telling you what to do, or you haven't been taught better otherwise, or you simply have too much pride to know that to admit that you're wrong, or you're teaching something and you don't want to lose your job or something. It's totally like there's a cop out for all of these things, man. It's just People have no, without putting your faith in God, I don't blame why so many people see themselves as such something as little as a monkey, or that you cannot understand the universe. You can't understand the things that God has created. It's the great cop-out lie that the devil has made for you to stay ignorant and just believe everything I tell you. In my opinion, whale complexity points to design, he told W&D. While I think whales go back millions of years, challenging their age distracts from the more important question of whether life is the result of unguided evolution or intelligent design. Somehow people think that there's no such thing as a simple molecule. A worm, if you were to dissect a worm and see how complex even a worm is, you know that these things that evolution claims are total lies, man. It doesn't make any sense, and I think if you believe it, you're deluded and you don't want to know the truth. Dating dirt. The whale's skull, about 6 feet long and an estimated 1,000 pounds, was excavated July 20th at Stafford Hall, Virginia, on the grounds of the home of Virginia's Lee family and the birthplace of Robert E. Lee. John Nance, the paleontology collections manager at the Calvert Marine Museum in Southern Maryland, told the Washington Post the fossil's age was based on its discovery in the Calvert Formation, which is laughable, I bet. The Post said scientists who have been studying the Calvert Formation for more than 100 years have dated the various layers of rock, dirt, and sediment, making it possible to determine the age of a fossil in relation to where it is discovered, which is hilarious. Purdom, a speaker this week at the International Conference on Creationism in Pittsburgh, which began Monday, told W&D the consensus among her colleagues there is that the Earth is 6,000 years old based on the Genesis account in the Bible and scientific experimentation. She says is consistent with the Earth being less than 4.5 billion years old. Walt Brown, who holds a doctorate from MIT, most creation scientists concludes the global flood recorded in Genesis 7 is the mechanism that created the geologic, astronomical, and biological phenomena witnessed today. What appears to be millions or billions of years of strata, he contends, was a landscape that was dramatically changed in a short period of time by a global deluge. Purdom argues that any dating method is based on assumptions about the past. Hers, she acknowledges, is based on her reading of Genesis and her belief that the Bible is the infallible word of God. Evidence is always interpreted in light of your worldview, she said. Whatever one's beliefs about God or convictions about how the Bible should be interpreted, when you're starting with nothing and your own ideas about the past, you can come up with whatever you want, she said. Duh. It's all imagination and dreaming and fantasizing about this stuff with these evolutionists. Purdom said creation scientists have a starting point to collaborate some of these methods and figure out the times, whereas other scientists really don't. It is God and His Word which is correct about the past, or is it man who wasn't there? She asked. Many who believe in the authority of the Genesis account interpret it differently. However, evangelical Christian astrophysicist Hugh Ross, founder of Reasons to Believe, concludes life didn't develop through a purposeless random process, but he also believes that Earth is billions of years old, which isn't true. I wonder why he believes that. Ross earned a Bachelor of Science in Physics from the University of British Columbia and a Masters of Science and PhD in Astronomy from the University of Toronto. He was a postdoctoral research fellow for 5 years at Caltech, studying quasars and galaxies. Purdom, who concludes that the majority of fossils were formed as a result of the biblical flood approximately 4,500 years ago, has published papers in the Journal of Neuroscience under the maiden name Hickman, the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, and the Journal of Leukocyte, Leukocyte, Biology. She is a member of the American Society for Microbiology and American Society for Cell Biology. Brown, a former atheist, is a West Point graduate and a National Science Foundation fellow. He served as a tenured associate professor at the U.S. Air Force Academy and was chief of science and technology studies at the Air War College. Whale of a find. The specimen discovered in the Potomac, the Post reported, was identified as a baleen whale based on skull size and shape. Nance said it belongs to a family of whales that is extinct. However, its shape and appearance is comparable to a modern-day minke whale. Nance said that scientists won't be able to conclusively determine the whale species until the entire fossil is excavated, cleaned, and examined. Purdom commented that according to the evolutionary worldview, a whale of that purported age should look different than whales today. What we see in the fossil record is very similar to what we see today, and that's consistent with the biblical worldview, she said. Evolutionists, I just love watching you guys get owned because you guys are hiding behind your institutions that are backed by tax dollars of teaching lies and fraud that has been proven since the 50s, what you guys try to teach our kids and lie to them about. It's funny watching you guys get absolutely exposed for what you are because you have led too many people astray. Too many people have left their faith because of them having to be peer pressured and having to be insulted publicly by you professors who don't know anything. I mean, it's really ridiculous that you think you can justify something as being true just because everybody believes it. Well, if everybody jumped off of a cliff, would you think that was safe? Would you? I don't. I have too much skepticism when it comes to evolution because, and believe me, I'm skeptical about all things, man. You got to be skeptical. You can't just believe everything you hear. You got to discern for yourself whether something's right or wrong. But the way that I see this evolution theory goes is that I see a reason why people want to believe it, and it's because they don't have they don't see any potential in themselves to actually find out what the truth is for themselves. They want to listen to people slander them and call them stupid and just say, "Oh well, he's right," I mean, it's ridiculous. Why don't you look up what real science and observe it for yourself? Go outside, stop playing video games. Go outside and do something that is scientific to observe what God has created. And not what the natural selection, because if natural selection created all this with mutations, then that doesn't make any sense, dude. Taking something out of the equation doesn't mean that there's going to be something added to it. It just doesn't make sense, dude. I feel like I get mentally, like there's just some blockage in my mind when I try to make sense of this stuff because it's so ridiculous that I don't even make sense. It doesn't make sense, dude, and there's no way it can make sense to you. I think it's blind faith, and I think that you hide behind, scholars telling you it's true and all that stuff. You're hiding behind institutions that teach us stuff. You're not really trying to find out if it's true or not for yourself. Anyway, I could go on rants about how I think evolution is stupid, but whatever, dude. If you like my videos, subscribe and let me know what you think. Peace out. God bless.